No, I'm not. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Let's go. You and me right now.
right now.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's good.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Did that fix it, guys?
Can you hear us? Sorry, guys. Let me double check. Obviously, we've forgotten how to do this.
Apparently. I've never actually had it do that before.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
Obviously, we've forgotten how to do this.
Apparently. All right, let's try this.
What's playing?
I wonder if the P4 had a memory something playing. I don't know what that was. But I turned it down and hopefully check it now because I pulled the background FX out to see if that did it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Good to go, guys.
Sorry, that was a whole.
Sorry about that, guys. Gosh, I guess we started off with talking about how you're a bad writer, and we made jokes about that, and that led into like talking about what you've experienced online with a certain segment of our motorcycle culture that seems to get a bit petty. They tend to get a little offended by things, and again, we just that sucks because I felt like that was I felt like we nailed that one. That was awesome.
Yeah, so you missed our thoughts on that.
We'll fix
due
it.
to our
I'll
error.
figure out a way to fix that. Sorry about that, guys. But what we were getting to is we had landed on the position of their need to tell you about it, like to tell you about how they feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? What did you do?
I just need the chat.
You pulled the chat
I
down.
pulled the chat down. Very amateur, by the way.
No,
We've
it's
never
just-
done this before. We don't know how to go live. We don't know how to do YouTube. This is actually what we should be judged on.
I know, right? How terrible we are at this. But okay. So can you see the comments now, Z?
I can.
All righty.
Just put my cursor. All right. So, hey guys, thank you.
okay.
It's been it's 9 minutes into the
Sorry.
live. So sorry about the technical difficulties, and
All
we're
right.
back.
So we're jumping back in. So let me kind of preface that again. Basically, we got to a point of me saying that a lot of people are going to assume that these folks that want to come up and correct you and tell you how to ride, whether they're doing it on social media or whether they're doing it on your feet aren't down, cone challenge. I bet I can outride, all that stuff. I think that a lot of people are going to assume that they do it towards females specifically. And while I do think that there's definitely a level of that, like the macho, a little bit of that, it's a man's thing. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go as far as saying misogynistic, even though I guess some of it does get to that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I personally find that those guys that do that, they do it to other guys too.
They do.
Like they'll go on that another guy's Instagram page and like, you don't know what you're doing. You're a terrible rider. And then they'll even do things like at bike night. Like for instance,
I was going to say in person they do
in
it.
person, right? We were at bike night last night, and I'm standing there around these guys and all kinds of bike. Great turnout, by the way, for your bike night. That was a really good event you guys put
It
on.
was.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we had 35, 40 bikes out there. It was nice. All kinds of bikes too. And that's one of the things that I really like about that bike night is that it's very diverse. There's all kinds of riders.
Yeah.
One of the problems with it though is that there's all kinds of riders, right?
With their opinion.
With their opinion. So a guy came up to me and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're Chuck, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I want to go look at your bike." And I was like, "Oh, cool." So this guy's interested in my bike. So we go over there and we're looking at the bike. And he's asking me about the bike. And then I get into talking about the new builds that we're doing. And I started explaining what I'm having done to the bike. And he goes, "Well, why are you doing all that?" And I was like, well, I mean, I want to be able to ride a little bit better in the mountains. So I'm adding some things to the bike that would allow me to do that. And he goes, you ain't got to do all that to ride good in the mountains. You just got to ride faster in the mountains. And then he started to like talk about doing this is a waste of money doing. And I'm like, did you ask me about my bike just so that you could shit on what I don't understand.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What is the purpose of this conversation?
Yeah.
Right. I've done a ton of research on how I want to set my bike up. And I've specifically gone out there, but this guy immediately just was like, none of that. And it's not, I don't care at the end of the day. I know it seems like I care. I don't care at the end of the day. What I'm asking about is what emboldens that behavior in people, right? What makes that guy think that I'm going to go up to this stranger and just tell him he doesn't know anything about motorcycles or riding? What is that need? That's what it's always fascinating to me about it.
What's fascinating to me about it is, why do you have an opinion whatsoever in what I do with my hard-earned money? If I want to do that to my bike, it's like, that's what I want to do. It doesn't matter if it's a waste of money. It's what I want to do.
Oh, I forgot.
I mean,
that was your name on the
right? That was your name on the check.
That was your name on the check.
So yeah, it does amaze me how there are so many opinions, but I just let them roll off my back and just keep doing what I'm doing because it's fun. Yeah. I love it.
They're a confident bunch. You know what I mean? Like when they walk up, they're like, no, what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
You got it. All right, cool, man. You out-confidenced me. But this wasn't a fun exchange, so I probably won't talk to you again.
Yeah. So speaking of building new bikes, like what are you doing to your new Road Glide ST?
Well, I think the probably the best way for us to get into that is to talk about what we're both doing, what is going to be similar, because there's a big section of the bikes that are going to be basically identical.
True. Just like our current setup.
So to kind of tell everyone what we're doing is sad day for me and Mrs. E over here when we sold the lowriders. So we sold both of our lowriders. I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear that day. Sure did. Yeah. Got one last good ride on her. She was a beast of a bike, and I loved her to death. But she was sitting. Ever since I got the Road Glide, I rode her maybe 3 times since I had the Road Glide, and it hurt to see that monster of a bike sitting there and not getting ridden. So right. I think it made sense to sell them. So we sold those.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think anybody knew.
I don't think anybody knew
it
that
was
yet.
Kind of like a sly. I told a couple of people, but yeah, Cottonmouth is no longer. And actually, if you look on our desk here, this is her sissy bar, the snake sissy bar.
Yeah.
I literally shed a tear when I was riding her to take her to get sold. I was like,
I know. And some people were like, that's so weird. Nah, there's a connection with each bike. I try to explain to everyone that I don't know about all bikes, but I know with the bikes that we've owned.
Yeah.
Each one has felt like it's had a different personality. It was a different character, someone that you got to know over, 10, 15,000 miles and learned how to ride her and get the best out of her and all that good stuff. And
I know.
And then
I did put some good miles on her, though.
You did.
And that thing moved like no other. I mean, my Road Glide moves now, but I mean, the power in that 550 cams really gave it that juice.
It did. It did. So we sold those. And our original intent was to take the profit from the sale of those bikes and put them into doing some upgrades on our current Road Glides. But as we started doing the math and sitting down and looking at what we were trying to do, it actually made more sense for us to go ahead and sell our existing Road Glide specials. Mm-hmm. So our current bikes are also part of this deal. So those are going to be going away soon.
Yeah.
And then we're taking, and we actually made some profit on those bikes as well. And we took all of that money and dumped it into 2 brand new 2023 Road Glide STs that are currently down to the frame.
Yeah.
I mean, just totally tore it apart. And, yeah. So do you want to start like with what we're doing on the performance side?
Performance wise, I mean,
or would you rather do like the other stuff?
Yeah, I can tell you what I'm doing too. So start out, obviously they don't have a Billard Teal
Can I pause you 1 second?
Yes.
I didn't get a drink. Can I have that, Jack?
Oh, you may. You may.
Thank you.
So I love my color combo on my current bike. So I'm definitely sticking with that Billard teal, the yellow accents, the yellow highlights. So getting the Roguelite ST painted, Harley Billard teal, and then obviously going with the yellow highlights or the yellow powder coating and the yellow pinstripe on the wheels. And then some great partners in the motorcycle community. We reached out to them about partnering with them. You know, we wanted to do carbon fiber pretty much on the fenders and the and in the dash. And so honestly, Chuck wanted to do his whole bike in carbon fiber, but right now with the supply being so low and just the demand being so high, it was just hard to get it in a timely manner. So we went with rear and front fenders with carbon fiber. Mine is actually it's primed for paint, so it'll actually be the Billard teal look and the carbon dash. And we partnered with Hoffman Designs for that. So shout out to Hoffman. And we went with Electric Lighting Company NAMS for our lighting. So we'll still have the shark tooth headlights. And then we did some other NAMS features on it, like the tail lights and the signals, the turn signals.
Yeah, we did. We completely deleted since the rear fenders are going to be carbon, we went ahead and deleted the tail light completely and went with the inserts on either side of the fender. And then we're moving the actual mount for the plates to one of the bags.
Yes. And I'm actually...
Side light deletes.
Oh, yes. Side signal light deletes. So it'd actually be a little tiny light coming out of the fairing. Went with Hoffman billet parts. So we're doing the 8-inch riser.
Doing 8-inch on yours.
For mine. Thrash and handlebars. And then for Chuck, he's doing a 10.5 or 11-inch.
I think it's 11-inch.
11-inch riser on his with the thrash and bars. Of course, we're doing the finger levers for brake and clutch control. I promise you, it makes such a difference when riding because those stock levers are so long and they're not adjustable. And my hands are small. And especially with the performance bikes, I think that they need a little bit shorter levers.
One Finger is not even a company that we work with, but those levers will be on every bike I have. Yes. I mean, they are so easy to pull. And I was on a bike recently that has a 132 in it with the 550 cam. So it's very similar to our setup. Mm-hmm. And the clutch is just, I mean, it's stiff. You really notice it whenever you go from the One Fingers to those.
Yeah.
Like you can really burn through the gears with those One Fingers. I mean, it just blips it through.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going with the La Pera. Shout out to Christine and Dante over at La Pera Seats. Beautiful tail whip, pleated racing pleats for mine with the yellow racing stripes down the sides. Really excited about that seat with the grip tape fabric. And then Chuck has the same seat that he has now, but it's all carbon. So it's carbon black and carbon red. So.
Yeah, it's going to look, I love that seat. La Pera so far, I mean, I've been on a Corbin. I sat on other seats. La Pera just makes the best seat.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I again, don't get me wrong. I loved my Corbin seat, that snakeskin seat I had, but it was nowhere near as comfortable as the La Pera.
Yeah.
No, nowhere near.
Make a great product. And it's just it's comfortable when you're riding long distance, as well as it has that high back lip, the backrest for the rider. So it's really, you just sit up in there and it just holds you up. So
yeah, it reminds me, again, I know this is the point of it, right? But it reminds me of the little lip I used to have on the V-Rod. Like whenever I would really get into it, I'd plant my ass against that little lip and push. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm actually doing paint on my bike, which is, I didn't think I would, want to do paint. I was just going to do a couple of like yellow wisps like down the side and things like that. But we partnered with a Southern Cycles is the painting company that we're going with. And they came out with a great render that is really different for me and I'm excited about. So it's going to be a little bit more paint than expected, but still subtle. Actually not subtle. It's going to stand out. It's going to stand out, but it's going to be fun.
And don't forget, we also have the clockwork screen inserts. We did the clockwork inserts on the saddlebag. We also have the fender supports from Clockworks that are really cool. And then obviously Memphis Shades is working with us on the visors, on the windshields.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they might be trying to do something a little different for us. We'll see. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
They're great guys.
Yeah. And thank you to Brian at Clockworks.
Oh God, great guy. What a great dude.
Yeah, he's so cool. Got some great products coming from them. We got some great products from them as well.
Yeah.
So who else did we partner with?
So the other thing too that I think is different about your bike specifically though is that you're actually doing a mid-control convert. So you're converting yours to mid-controls.
That's right. I'm doing the
It's
mid-forwards.
It's like the bike pedal, the MTX looking pedals that you're putting on it with the mini floorboards. I think it's going to look so good.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that you're going with the mid controls. I think that'll give you a little bit more comfort on the bike.
Yeah, I think so too. What are you doing to your bike, Chuck?
Well, yeah. So let me finish up on yours because you got a
Is that not it?
No. You also have the you're also doing the Trask Assault exhaust 2-in-1.
Oh, yeah.
That's stainless steel, so it's going to patina over time, which is going to be awesome. You've got like the last set of 12-inch progressive shocks with reservoirs on them. I mean, it's so hard to find those. They don't really make them in the 12-inch. Most people make them in the 13-inch, so or 13, 14 and up. And so finding, I think it was like the last of 5 in the country when we found them. So it's pretty cool. Big shout out to Josh Pines over at Killer Creek for really tracking down some of these parts. We also did carbon fiber wheels on both bikes.
Yeah, I forgot about
front
that.
and back PTS carbon fiber wheels. The carbon that we're actually doing is we're doing carbon fiber fenders on both bikes, front and back, and then also the carbon fiber dash. On yours, the carbon fiber is primed to be painted. Thank you so much to Curtis Hoffman for that. I mean, he rushed those out to us. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. And then mine are going to stay carbon, but I'm going to have them black candy coated. So it's got that candy coat over top of it, that real sharp black look to it. We also did new cartridges in the front on yours, but it'll stay stock height. So you'll actually be stock height, but you'll have pretty much performance suspension front and back, which is going to be really cool. And then I did the Legends. I did the 14s on the front, and then I did the +2 on the front from Legends as well. And I'm probably going to have those installed on the bottom bolt. So it's actually going to bring my bike up to 15.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I can never ride that bike.
I'm going to be tiptoeing that bike.
Dang.
Yeah. I haven't 100% decided that, but I think I am, just to give me a little bit more clearance in the mountains. Yeah.
Have you like gotten ready for all the hate that you're going to get for tiptoeing?
I don't care. It's my bike.
You're a poor rider.
I'm a terrible rider. I'm a terrible rider.
Yeah.
But yeah. So so we did that's what we did on that. We also what was it? There was a few other things that we've done too. Oh, one thing that I did is I did a Trax Dynamic swing arm. So that's actually going to save me a ton of money as well. So overall, we're reducing the weight on these bikes by a pretty significant amount. I think the wheels themselves was like 50 pounds almost.
Yeah,
Just
that it's going
a
to take off.
reduction.
Yeah.
My understanding is when you pick that bike up with the carbon fiber wheels, you can really tell a big difference on it.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either.
What else are you having done?
All right, so both of us are having 131 engines put in. We've also done fuel injectors, lifters. We did fuel pump, whatever you could think of. We did to the engine. We also added 550 cams. We are doing upgraded clutches, with the stiffer springs, all that good stuff in it, so that it'll be able to handle this monster that we're getting ready to build. And then, I did custom paint on mine as well. Went through a few renders. Some were good.
Yeah.
Some I was not too sure about, but these last two, it was hard for me to decide between. But I wanted something that was aggressive and bold, and I went with a. It's not gonna. When I say this, you're not gonna get it right away. I'm gonna have to kind of explain it. But I went with kind of like a samurai, calligraphy brushstroke type of deal, and I think I went with a red, black, and gray theme. So I think it's gonna look really good.
Yeah.
And then we're ceramic coating all the bikes, so they'll have a little bit of paint protection.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing stuff, but that's yeah. I did the Curtis Hoffman billet foot pegs and levers, except and then we also did performance machine grips. That's another thing that we did too.
Awesome.
I think that's everything. So
yeah. So
were you
excited about it?
Were you wanting to show the renders, or
I kind of want to have it a surprise. You know how I am.
You don't want to show them?
I mean, if you want to show yours, you can.
Hey, I think I will. I think I'll show mine.
But mine's going to be kept a secret.
She's all secretive and stuff over here. So let's see. I think this is mine, right? That says Z. That's mine, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking.
So let's see. This might be it, guys.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That looks badass.
Yeah, I really like how the red sweeps across the bike. It definitely looks like a brush stroke. Obviously, the setup on the bike will be different. I didn't even mention I'm doing the D&D 2-in-1 carbon exhaust on mine.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously our rocker arms will be powder coated. Yours is going to have the pinstripe done on yours as well. I'm really excited to see what this bike looks like. I think it's a bold design. I think it's going to look good in motion. And then the other thing that I like about it is once I get this bike tall and I have those tall bars coming off of it, it's going to look real. It's going to look real lean and sharp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it. Obviously, the final product will probably be just a tiny bit different, but this was the approved render.
Yeah. Thanks, Raymond. That'd be awesome if we could meet up and you take some pictures of them. Love your photography.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm really excited about this bike. Yeah. And then my you can kind of see it on here, but the swing arm, the Trax Dynamic swing arm is actually powder coated red as well. So that'll be powder coated red. All of the stuff that the rocker, the shoes.
Oh yeah, you did get the stainless swing arm.
I did.
Yeah.
And I painted it. Yeah.
It's gonna look hot.
It is. And then obviously the rockers are done, and then we're having the brakes painted to match.
Yeah, and we're actually taking the original engine guards, and we're having just more of
Santora,
like the Santora.
Santoras on there.
Engine guards.
Yeah.
A little cleaner look.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, the cans on both bikes will be gone. So the little black covers on the forks will be gone, and then actually that little chin skirt that sits right underneath the it's not a chin skirt, it's like the bottom of the triple tree or whatever. That'll be gone as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
So yeah, we're excited about it. All right, let me switch.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's what's up with the bikes. Really, really just anxiously, patiently waiting. And I'm hoping that it's done before. I'm sure they're going to be done before Sturgis, but still, like, I want to ride. I want to ride. And so what else do you want to talk about, Chuck? You want to talk about the Instagram verification stuff?
Yeah. So that's actually something that I'm curious because it was a funny thing. It kind of popped up this week, and apparently it's super controversial. I didn't think it was.
I didn't either.
Like whenever you got verified, and then I was like, oh, look at that. That's really cool. Congratulations, whatever. And then it was offered to me, which I think it's been offered to a lot of people. So
yeah,
it's whatever.
I think most
people got it. But I was like, oh, yeah, cool. So I pay $15 a month, which is nominal. I mean, it's not that much.
It's like a subscription.
It's like a basic subscription, and it verifies that the person on the account is me.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you're looking for me on Instagram or you're posting something on Instagram, that blue check says, yeah, that's the right guy.
Right.
Right. It's not as important for me. I mean, I don't have like the kind of following that you have. But the other side of it is there's so many fake accounts out there. And no, this isn't going to stop people from making fake accounts and doing Photoshops and all of that. People are still going to do it. But at least there's a certain level of credibility that's lost when you don't see. It's like when someone fakes someone's account and is trying to sell porn or something like that, they, click
Or
my link.
Bitcoin.
Or Bitcoin
or
or whatever it is they're trying to. Now they know that unless there's a check mark beside your name, that's not a real Z883 account.
Right.
Right. And we've dealt with that. We've dealt with people, faking your account, photoshopping pictures of you. It's not that big of a deal. Right. But this just gives you that little bit of a, yeah, that's not me. Look for the thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy when, it's frustrating when people are faking your account, when they're creating this account that looks like your account and people follow it, and then they're, probably targeted for some kind of virus or something. So I just think that this creates that extra layer to let people know that it's you. And now I feel like people have this opinion about getting the verification as you being somebody that you're not, or trying to be the celebrity or whatever. But now that meta verification is available for just any and everybody, I think that celebrity status is null and void, and it's just proving that you are who you are. So
yeah,
it's not about some kind of stature or anything like that.
I think that,
at least for me,
I think that's what people are getting hung up on. Is there going to be a segment of the population that's like, yeah, I'm verified now. I'm somebody, right? Yes, there's folks out there that are going to act that way about it. But that's not, in my opinion, very smart. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? It doesn't. And by the way, I think the celebrities had to pay for it too whenever they were originally the only ones that could get verified. But I think the point is that it should have kind of been that way from the jump. Right? You should have had to verify who you are. Because I think that over the last, God knows how long, the whole reason they did it for celebrities is so that people couldn't go out there and fake that they were that celebrity. They couldn't go out there and put up stuff as Joe Rogan and people believe that was Joe Rogan.
Right.
Well, that was short-sighted in that they didn't realize that shortly, because they didn't think there was any reason people would fake random people. I guess they knew that was possible, but it wouldn't be a significant issue, right? But I guess they didn't take into consideration that eventually they would be able to do that. You would have people who are non-celebrities who have a presence on these social media sites that, other people could get got through some scam or whatever. And so it should have been this way from the jump. I mean, I think the reason they did it the way they did it created a caste system. And that's ultimately what people are, now these people verified and they think they did. No, I didn't. I just like the fact that now when someone goes to my account, they know for sure I'm behind that account.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that's such an issue. I'm sorry, I'm ranting a little bit about it. And someone said something like, oh, well, Instagram made $660 million. Capitalism. I mean, yes, you shouldn't get paid for a service you're providing just because it started off free and then they struggled to make revenue, right? So they had to turn to ads and algorithms and corporate sponsors in order to be able to have the platform that we got to use for free. If I have to pay $15 a month just to go, hey, look, guys, I know this is a cluttered system now, right? This is actually me. Or this is actually Z, or that when you're talking to this person, I don't have to text you and go, hey, Z, did you really send me this message? Because I know it's your account, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I think people are too caught up on what was that, oh, well, if you had a blue check, that meant something. And that there's attention seekers that are going to glam onto that to try to embolden, oh, no, I'm a verified person. Yes, that's going to happen. Don't pay attention to those idiots and actually look at when you Ben Franklin this thing, which is how Ben Franklin made decisions. He put things on two lists. Yeah. Right? Pros
and cons. Yeah.
Right.
Got it. So
when you Ben Franklin this thing, the pros of it are immense, and the cons are some people get to feel entitled. That's out $15. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, just like anything you do on social media, if you put yourself out there, you're going to have people that are going to respect it and approve it and support it, and you're going to have people that crap all over it. So It is what it is. In my opinion, it's not a huge deal. In my opinion, if you get verified or don't get verified, that's up to you. Like, I'm so tired of having to conform and like feel like, oh, I have to be a part of a team. I'm a part of our team and I'm part of other teams too. But at the same time, like, I'm not here to live up to anyone else's standards but my own. So
that's right.
There you go on that piece.
So get the blue check. Don't get the blue check, right? Who cares? Do or don't. Yes. I feel like the benefits of it are worth $15. Yeah. I do. And no, I'm not getting any. Well, I guess we do get benefits from Twitter because of what we put out there, but
Twitter,
I mean, Instagram. I said Twitter started this whenever Elon started doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you want to talk about some of the moto things that we'll be attending this year?
Lay it out there.
I don't have our whole schedule, so apologies. Maybe next week we'll come up with our schedule, the rest of the schedule. But I know for sure that we are doing the 120th Harley-Davidson 120th anniversary.
Can't wait.
Chuck and I are going to be out there Thursday through Sunday in July. So if you're out there, and let us know. We'd love to meet up, shake hands, get a sticker, and hang out. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then is Sturgis next after that?
It's like 3 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later.
I can't wait. Man, we're going out there with a bunch of, a lot of, some great folks like Jake and Lo. I just can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Some of the same crew from 2022. Some of us couldn't be there, but it's going to be a good time. And of course, we're getting out there a little early so that we can get some good riding in before the crowd comes in. And then we'll be there for about a week. So, of course, same thing. If you're out there in Sturgis this year in August, come say hi or holler at us on Instagram, message us. We'll love to meet.
Yeah, and if you're in the Atlanta area, North Georgia area, let us know if you want to go ride Wolf Pen. It's spring. It's getting to be summer.
Yeah.
Those roads are going to be fun. So let us know if you're running through and want to hit some of the North Georgia mountains.
Yeah, I'm excited that Hazel's going to be coming. That's awesome. Can't wait to meet her. Moto Photo Dad's daughter.
Oh, cool. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I hope we get to meet you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll be around our area. There's some events going on later on in the year, October. There's even some events coming up, but we're also doing the Lita's Atlanta moto camping trip in the first week in June. That's going to be fun. We do that. We've done that the last couple of years. This is our third year doing it. And I just love it. It's a good get together with the ladies and our significant others. And like I said, I don't have my whole list of moto activities that we'll be doing this year, but we definitely want to put that out there so you guys can come and meet up with us. And then I feel like the events that we do go to are really fun, and we want to continue to go every year, but we have to make room for other events that we haven't done yet, and they're closely dated, or maybe we don't have time off from work and that sort of thing, so we have to work around our schedules. But definitely 2024, looking to come out to the West Coast. I really want to get out to either Arizona Bike Week or something like that, something in California. Thinking
the UK.
Yeah, definitely want to come out to the UK as well.
I definitely want to go out to that festival. I don't have the details on it now, but we've been invited and I want to go.
Yeah. In England.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yep. So that's the moto related news.
The news?
Yes.
Zara with the moto related news.
It's been Z883 with moto related news.
Today, a man was hit from behind whenever he did.
Stop.
All right, anyways.
So did you have fun this weekend riding in the mountains?
I did, man. It was so good getting back up there. We tried to go up there and ride a few weeks back, but it had just had some ice and snow, and so there was salt everywhere, and we had to turn around. But
I know.
But it was
sad.
Gorgeous this weekend. It's like right in the end of spring when it's super green. That's whenever it's awesome. So I can see it going that direction now.
Yeah.
And then about a week into fall
Yeah.
everything's purple and yellow and brown and
Yeah.
green. It's
I love
gorgeous in the North Georgia mountains.
Yeah, for sure. It was it's been a while since we've been up there, maybe a couple of months. We typically go like every weekend to the mountains, specifically such as Blood, going down Wolfpen Gap.
Wolfpen Gap.
And this time when we went, since it's been a while, I was like, oh crap, I don't know what I'm doing. No, it was good. I actually felt really comfortable and smooth through the turns. And I felt really good. And are you going to tell everybody how you let me dust you? I caught him off guard. The first and only time in the 7 years that I've been riding that I dusted him.
You got me. You did. You had me by like a fairing and a half, no doubt. You got me.
I even had witnesses because we had Louis riding behind us.
Yeah. Now you got me for sure. No, congratulations.
Yay.
You know, it actually takes us back to what we were talking about in the beginning of this when we were joking around about you being a bad rider, right? Which was how we started the podcast.
Right.
Talking about, put your feet down, cones, challenges, and all that stuff. I think you're an incredible rider. We've been riding together since 2016 now. I've watched you grow as a rider. I think that your skill set is,
Thank you.
I mean, I think your skill set is, where
Mediocre.
No,
It is what it is.
I'm trying to say it in a way that doesn't make it like I'm comparing you to me, right? But because that seems arrogant to say that. But
I mean, I think you're almost on par with
no.
like,
I think
my
I think
abilities.
you have learned to ride that bike, all the bikes that you've been on, like a champ. I mean, you've only been riding since 2016, and
Yeah.
you are carving the mountains right behind me. I think your
It's
skill
fun.
set is incredible, and I'm proud to
Appreciate
ride.
it.
I'm proud to ride with you. So.
Preach.
That's right. I bet you none of those guys that want a cones challenge. We're going to do a cones challenge. Those guys can't keep up with you in the mountains. They couldn't do it. Not in a million years. You're nipping at my heels. You know what I mean?
Thank you. You're making me blush.
It's
You're
okay.
making me blush.
No, but yeah, again, whatever, however you ride your ride, enjoy it. I
Yeah.
think that as long as you're enjoying your ride and you feel comfortable, then you're good. And quite frankly, since the day you started riding, you've exceeded expectations. You got the top score in that class.
I don't know what you always say.
It's true. Like you had the top score in the class. I mean,
Thanks.
from the moment you've touched
I've
motorcycles.
always been a teacher's pet, though.
Yeah, I know.
Overachiever.
I know. But I think you're a great rider. And
Thanks.
I think that whenever people say things like that, even when they say it to me, right, it's about them. It's not about me.
Oh, yeah.
They're projecting, or they feel some kind of way about themselves, and whatever you did offended them, and now they got to vomit how they feel all over you.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I've enjoyed this podcast. I'm glad we're doing it again. Hey, actually, real quick, guys, before we get you guys out of here, because we're about done. Excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. For the next, we actually have some pretty great guests lined up, but for the next couple of podcasts, some people that we know in the motorcycle community. We're trying to keep it as motorcycle related as possible, but also that people that are into motorcycles who do other things like singers and writers and filmmakers.
Yeah.
And we've got some pretty good folks that we're really excited. And then obviously we're going to talk to builders and people who manufacture parts. Hopefully some of the folks that we work with will be able to get on the podcast. They've already said they'll do it. So
Yeah.
I'm super, super excited about the guests we're going to have coming up in the coming months.
Yeah. And just to put it out there, if you're new to the podcast, obviously we are really known for our bikes,
We're
but
known for it.
I mean,
People know us.
from social media.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Well, that's not what I meant. I meant like if you follow us, like it's mostly motor related.
Oh my God.
But we actually have other interests, and so some of the guests obviously are not going to be just motor related because we have other things that we want to talk about as well. But I hope you'll join us next time because this has
Absolutely.
been fun.
been a
Even though we
blast.
had technical difficulties in the beginning, I think we've kind of figured
I think
out
we
what
got
we
it.
did,
Yeah,
what we
we
did
did.
wrong.
I figured out what I did wrong. It was me.
Yeah.
All right, guys, stay safe out there, shiny side up. And once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Take
Yep.
care.
Thanks, guys.